Bob over at Bob's Cycle Barn and Old Dirt Bike Museum. You know, the other day I had a customer come in and tell me that he was having trouble getting his foot pegs on. And since we're building this Dungey replica test mule and getting ready to put pegs on it, I thought I'd do a little video and show you how to put them on. When I say there's a Dungey replica, of course I'm saying that with tongue-in-cheek. That would be if Dungey rides a two-stroke off-road and has a number that happens to be the same number as my number on his bike. But anyway, we've been working on this bike for a while. We powder coated the frame orange, put DNA wheels on it, blue wheels and stuff. Getting ready for graphics in a little while. New chain, new sprockets, just going through the bike. But anyway, before we get into actually putting the foot pegs on, I'd like to tell you about my favorite set of foot pegs. And by the way, I'm not getting paid to do this. They just happen to be my favorites, and I like them a lot. And if you want to, I'd like you to consider them. They're called Fastway. If you've heard of them, they make the flex bars, they make foot pegs, they make a lot of other products for motorcycles. This is an example of it, and it's about 4 reasons I really like this peg. The first reason, of course, is that it's a wider peg than stock. You can see here's a stock KTM. It's a much wider platform. What does this equal? Well, this equals more comfort and more safety as far as your feet are concerned. Second thing I like about it is, of course, the removable cleats. These cleats are all removable so that you don't have to sharpen them like you would with a conventional set of pegs, which is a pain in the rear end, by the way, to sharpen these things. You can replace them, you can place them with these. They also make different styles of cleats and that sort of thing that you can do. The third thing I like is this bolt that's in the back. It allows you to adjust the foot peg. On some of your older bikes and that sort of thing, this might be necessary as the frame kind of gets wallowed out a little bit. So you can raise or lower the foot peg itself if you need to. But the thing I like the best about it is the fact that it's adjustable a ½ inch up or down. In this situation, use this pin here in your spring to go over it. And but anyway, by putting it in a lower position, it raises the foot peg by about a ½ inch. If I turn it around like this, it lowers the foot peg by a ½ inch. That's great, and I don't think many foot pegs have that feature. It is a great feature. Why? Well, if you're old, fat, and slow like me, and got a bad knee, you like as much room in the motorcycle cockpit as you can get. I ride 250 2-strokes, 250 4-strokes, but I also have these pegs on my 452. I like the way it just opens up the whole cockpit thing. The second thing I like about it, again being fat, slow, and old, is that it allows you to go from a sitting position up to a standing position. And as you guys know, if you're sitting, you're riding. If you're standing, you're racing. Okay. So anyway, let's put this foot peg on. A couple things you need. I keep a pair of needle nose pliers. These are vice grips made in China. They're not really vice grips. A little hammer if we need it, and a drift, or in this case, a drift, or in this case, a Phillips head screwdriver, which this serves a great purpose because you never use this head, hardly ever. But when you do this, try to find something to push through the peg that's about the same diameter as the peg itself. It makes it easier to get everything together. Alright, so what do we do? Well, the old way you would do this, of course, is you put this spring in there and you try to cram it on here. And believe me, it takes 3 hands to do this. And you're just asking for trouble, especially if these things are sharp. You're just asking for a world of trouble. It takes 3 hands because somebody's got to push that pin in while you're pushing the peg on. What you have as far as parts are the peg, the spring, the pin, of course, washer, and a new Carter key. I want to just say this while we're talking about it. On this particular model, there is a bolt back behind the foot peg. It's the stop for the kickstand, but it's best to remove this. It makes it a lot easier. Now, some bikes don't have, a lot of the bikes don't have this, but this one does. Okay, so anyway, to do this, what we do is simply put our spring in the peg. I try to line it up as closely as I can to the hole. clamp it down, okay? Simple, right? Take your drift, insert it. Sometimes if this goes right, it's real easy. Alright, so you got your drift through there. Then it's just a matter of taking the drift back out and pushing the the pin through at the same time as you bring the, and the hammer, this is where the bull taco tool comes in handy. As usual, I'm off just a hair. You can do one of two things. One, look at it like I just did, or take your screwdriver or drift and stick it back in here. There it is, voila, it's on. Now all you need to do is put your washer on, and like I said, use a new Carter key each time you do this. One more little tidbit, it's a whole lot easier. Alright, to put this bolt back in, tap your thing back up, and then put your bolt in. Good idea to Loctite this. It's a very special thing, and it's probably $1 million from KTM. But anyway, put that back in, and there you are. So, hopefully I'll be doing a few more videos as we get into this motorcycle. But anyway, thanks for looking, and come see us sometime.